Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mindset Mentors podcast. This is episode 18, and this episode is something that was purely triggered by a recent reel that I had posted on my main Instagram page, basically saying that having a guy best friend or having a girl best friend is not normal. It's a red flag. And when I said that, my opinion was purely being said from a point of view of, first off, just straight relationships. We're not taking into account, any other forms of relationship other than just straight relationships, straight men and women. And it was also based on my own life experiences. Okay, I'm 30 years old. I've been through my fair share of having male best friends and male friends in general over my 20s, basically. And with that in mind, I have come to the conclusion that no, I don't think men and women can be best friends. However, when I posted this onto my Instagram, the comment section was not very happy, and that's fair. I love that because one of the main things that I love about social media is that we can all have our own opinions and share those opinions. And, maybe if there's something to learn from that, we can. And if there isn't something to learn from that, you can just kind of let it be. As someone who is always introspective and always kind of thinking about things in general and social psychology and sociology, what I tend to do a lot is question my own belief systems, because trust me, nobody has all the answers. Nobody knows everything, right? The real joy in life, at least for me, is the pursuit of finding answers. And even in that pursuit, we're never actually going to have all the answers. And that's the most beautiful part of it. And it's also that there is no right answer, you know? So in this video, kind of what I want to talk about is just both perspectives of why some people believe that men and women can't be friends, which is what I believe. And I'm also going to present to you the other side of why people think that men and women can be friends. And is there truth to that? Maybe. So that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. So welcome, grab your popcorn, your juice, water, whatever, and let's go. Okay. As someone who went through their entire 20s with guy friends, with friends who were guys that I thought were like my best friends, my close friends, only to realize that it was never the same intention from the other end. Okay, I found out that all of them at some point had intentions to be more than friends with me. And on the other hand, I also, over a period of time, realized that I was catching feelings for some of these people who was telling them that they're just my friend. Okay, so I'm not gonna put all the onus on just the guys. Sure, the guys' intentions towards me was not fully friendship, but at the same time I'm self-aware enough to know that that was sometimes not always one-sided. Sometimes it was both-sided. And the times where I started to realize that I was catching feelings for some of my guy friends is when there was this emotional gap that I was feeling with my relationships, and emotional gap that I was feeling within myself, and a void. And I was getting that void or getting that attention from my male friends at that time. And I equated that to my mind. And let me tell you, I was very, very young. In my mind was the reason I started catching feelings for these people. And the reason that I say that, as now we're older and we're grown up, I just don't think that that kind of dynamic needs to be brought into your relationships. Okay, so let's say that you are single, the other person is single, you are best friends. Okay, you want to call yourself best friends and strictly purely be just friends. That's fine. Okay, do what you want to do, right? But if you are in a relationship, you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and you still want to keep a guy best friend around, that just doesn't sit well with me. Okay. And it's not about insecurity. I know some people are going to say that, oh, you're just being insecure, they're being insecure. I don't think it's about insecurity. And even if the relationship at that time is purely platonic, there will be a situation where maybe, let's say, you have a tough thing going on in your relationship and you just want a friend. Okay, and by friend I mean someone that you can vent to, and a friend that you know who you can share what you're going through, and you know they're going to be there for you. So you are looking for that kind of friend, but that friend is a male. I'm sorry to tell you, but in those moments, you have to realize that both of you are human. Okay, both of you are bound by laws of nature and biology. And sometimes when our emotions are broken, our emotions are, out of whack, our brains, our bodies, our minds will look for a quick fix. And in those times, if you say that you have a male best friend and they are there for you to, put yourself together, and regardless of what their relationship status is, it is just a very, very slippery slope. Okay, it's a very, very slippery space to be. So now I'm not saying that you can't have guy friends in general or girlfriends in general, where you can all hang out in a group setting, you can all go out and hang out together with your respective partners, and your partners are friends with their partners, like you're all friends with each other. That's a very, very different thing. What I'm talking about here is very specifically girls who have guy best friends and guys who have girl best friends. And I think also it comes down to the definition of best friends, right? To me, a best friend is somebody who is a confidant, somebody that I can go to crying at 2 a.m. and they're going to be there for me. And someone who I will be there for them as well if they're going through something. So any time that I feel that there is some kind of a, I don't know, like some kind of a underlining attraction, okay, even if it's not fully expressed on either sides, it's a very slippery slope to be. I wouldn't want to put myself in a position, or put my partner in a position like that. I also don't want to entertain such friendships or relationships. But having said all of this, end of the day, every person's opinion about this is 1,000% valid, because every person's opinions are formulated by the experiences that they have been through in their lives. Okay, so I am in no means here saying that I am right and you are wrong. Okay, end of the day, you are the judge of your life. You are choosing what kind of energy, what kind of dynamic you want to bring into your life. But if you want peace, if you want calmness, if you don't want to go down any slippery slopes, I don't think having a guy best friend or a girl best friend is a safe place to be. And end of the day, every relationship is different, every person is different. So you have to do what works for you. Okay, if you're in a relationship and your partner's in a relationship, you're both very, very comfortable with each other having best friends who are of the opposite sex. It works for the two of you. That is great. Okay, but if you are somebody who does not approve of your partner having best friend of the opposite sex, and that's something that they are so for, that's when you can't tell people what to do. That's when it's on you to pick the person that is most compatible with you. That's the whole talk about compatibility, right? Like, you have to be with somebody who you align with on certain topics. It's not just your values and morals and ethics, but it's also very important to have discussions like this early on in your dating and relationships, so you're on the same page. And it's not something that comes up later on and blows up on your faces, right? That's why compatibility, having conversations about compatibility, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, knowing yourself also, being aware of your own things, the things that you're okay with, not okay with. And sometimes it takes time for us to develop that list of things that we're okay with and not okay with, and once you get to that point where you are aware of what it is that you're okay with and not okay with, being able to vocalize it and express it unapologetically, that's another growth, right? So knowing yourself, knowing what you like, what you don't like, what you're okay with, what you're not okay with, expressing that to your partner, and being able to draw firm boundaries, even with friendships, and standing on business when there's something that you don't agree with is happening with you or happening around you. Being able to stand up and stand on business is so important. It's so, so important. And also from what I'm seeing on the internet, it's very interesting because I see the people, the men and women who are saying, oh, men and women can't be friends, tend to be on the older side, so older, I'm older as in like somewhere between like 28 plus. Mostly the average I want to say is maybe like 40, 45. They are on the bandwagon of men and women can't be friends. The people who are saying men and women can be friends is just casual tend to be on the younger side. And that's totally understandable because sometimes in life you just have to go through certain experiences. You're just going to have to meet some types of people. You're going to have to go through things to fully gain the wisdom you need to do life. I am somebody who 1,000% learns from older people because they have been through life, and I just value their opinions and their lessons and their wisdom so much more. And also from going through my own personal experiences and my experience with male friends, I have formulated an opinion that guys and girls cannot be best friends. I'm not saying friends, I'm saying that best friend status, I don't think we can give to the opposite gender. And I'm on this side. On the other side, it's fine. If you want to believe that you can be friends and it's strictly platonic and you want to defend it to the core, go ahead. And that works for you, that works for you. End of the day, we are all human. End of the day, we all have free will. We can do what we want. As long as you're not hurting other people, you're not manipulating other people, you're not trying to change other people, you're free to do what you want. But whatever you end up doing, it all has consequences. And being aware of those consequences is key. So that was a short episode. We will catch up again later with another episode. I just want to come on here and talk about this because I was really just honestly very surprised by how divided the internet is on this subject. And I'm going to be actually thinking about this topic for a little bit longer. I'm going to actually do a little more digging and research into seeing what the statistics show. I'm going to be looking into, psychologies and the study around this subject to kind of just learn a little bit more because it's very, very interesting. So with that, thank you for signing to the Mindset Mentors podcast. I will see you next week with another topic. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my podcast on Spotify, and also like this video so I can keep coming out with more fun episodes. Bye, guys.